What's up, guys? So in this Shoky Quickie, we're going to do another Titans Return review from the Transformers Generations Alliance, and this time it is Furos, Furos, Furiosa, and Hardhead. So Hardhead is the big tank dude, the little head guy. That's Furros. Yeah, whatever. So, of course, with the packaging, you get the standard kind of clamshell right here. You get Hardhead just chilling out right here in the little plastic prison. You zoom out a little bit, and you get his head either flying off of his body or landing on his body. Can't quite tell realistically. You get Transformers Generation up here in this corner. Transformers in big red letters here. Titans Return! It is a deluxe class, a classe de luxi, classe de lujo, classe de luxo. Yay! Ages 8 plus. Hey, I'm right in the middle of that. And there's the Hasbro logo right there. So then we come over to this side. You get a little bit of the same artwork. I like the little wraparound Autobot logo right there. That's pretty cool. Now let's go to the back. You get the stupid Titans Return. Hey, every head can fit on every little thing. You can get little guys here. So you got the Titan Master, the Deluxe class, Voyager class, and Leader class. So mostly we're looking at the Deluxes. Let's see here. Let's raise up just a little bit. Let's try to read this thing. The Autobots unite with... Okay, it's the exact same thing. But it gives Hardhead the regenerative healing power. Instantly repairs armor and systems damage, and then repeated in other languages. And so you get shot there. Him in robot mode. Him gaining a head or losing a head. And then transforms into little buddy robot. Got a big old tank mode here. And then this can sit in the thing. That's awesome. That's amazing. I love when that happens. And then you got warning, blah, 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 down there. Made in Vietnam. What the? Alrighty then. Well, let's get this guy out of here and see if he's actually really cool or not. Alright. So now we have Hardhead out of his little plastic prison and actually looking pretty tough. Now, I will say, like, even though this was the first run of these things, it's one of the only ones I really did like. Just like whenever I got the Hot Rod a little while ago, it's one of the few I actually do dig. And this guy just has a lot of cool details. I mean, you've got the tank treads molded in on the legs here. You have the wheels just kind of hanging out there. Good job hiding that there, Hasbro. You have more tank treads back here on the arms. That's pretty cool. You have the giant over-the-shoulder cannon. That's really, really awesome. And, you know, I keep finding myself really liking greens. I guess maybe it's the military look. I don't know, because he's got this nice dark navy metallic plastic molded in here. And then the green, I think, it's got to be molded in most places. Yeah, the green is molded. This gray part right here with the hatch and everything, that's all painted on. You even get a little bit of gunmetal right there. That's pretty cool. So this would be like, I guess, the other cockpit or forward position. You even got some molded in details here. You got the nice vents. He actually is very Gundam-like realistically. Maybe that's why I like him. So he's very heavy arms. I love the head sculpt. It's actually really good. Even got some nice painted blue there on the visor. The yellow for the faceplate. And I even like the they gave him little green hands. Little green, boxing gloves. Bow, bow. Yeah. And then you come down here to the crotch. They went all out just in this one area. So you got the yellow paint, red paint, some blackish or gunmetal paint, and then this amazing looking silver. That's almost like Bandai level silver. That's actually really neat. And you got the Tampographed Autobot logo there on the chest, almost the crotch, and then up here on the shoulders. That's actually very, very nice. And then talking about the giant cannon. Nice molded in details all along here. Got some nice area right in here. You got the big port right up on top, 5mm peg. And of course, it can flip open like so, but we'll look at that more whenever we get him into tank mode and we start looking at his little buddy up here. Stay. I know there's a lot of complaints early on about the hips and the legs. The legs are actually not too bad. It's just making sure he actually is standing because the feet are just flat. Now let's look at his one accessory that actually, is separate. You got his gun. And it's just a one-piece mold. Nice detail on this side. Pretty much hollow on that side. So I guess realistically it's meant to be held in his left hand. Like so. And turn his head all nice and neat like that. I had him in a pretty epic pose for the screenshot. So he's down like this. Just, yeah. Awesome. So he does actually have some very good posability for what he is. Let's look at that articulation. You know, just like all the other Titan Masters, he's got pretty much infinite rotation up here because it's more or less a ball joint in that neck. And he can look forward and up and down and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle because loose heads sink ships. I don't know. Shoulder articulation, got a nice little mounted ball joint. You can go all around there. You can go completely around. Due to transformation, you can raise and lower the shoulder a little bit. That's not going to help you with posing, but, you know, in robot mode, he's got to have the shoulders up so he looks intimidating. You do get bicep swivel, though realistically it's just above the elbow swivel. You actually get a double jointed elbow due to transformation. So it's actually an accordion joint, but used as a double elbow. So if you stretch it out just a little bit, you can get a 90-degree angle, or just over 90 degrees. So that's actually pretty good. The wrist does actually rotate, which is pretty good. And of course it flip-flops due to transformation. You have no kind of waist articulation because he's a flatformer. So he's going to end up folding himself in half. And he's all like inquisitive. Hi? What? What? Ooh? Ooh. Okay. Actually, that was kind of... Yeah. Oh, man. Can I get that to... Hold on. I gotta get a picture of that. That's mean. That might end up being the thumbnail. Nice. I like when accidents happen like that on camera. So, coming down to the hips, he can do a pretty much perfect Jean-Claude. So, he's just got the T-mounted ball joints here. So, we can twisty go all the way around like so. That's very nice. Come down to the thigh. He does have thigh rotation, which they didn't even have to add because he doesn't even use that for transformation. You have a nice single jointed knee, so he can sit. He can just sit effectively. Yep. And then if you come all the way down, he has toe point. That is really just due to transformation, but that is how I was getting him in some of those cool poses. You know, flip the toes away or raise them up with just a little bit to give him some awkward stance at a distance, like so. Add in some of the thigh turning ability. Use the cannon to try to balance him, which technically more articulation the way the cannon works. But there we go. It actually will stand very nicely. The joints and everything are actually pretty stiff, so I guess this is probably the third run of this particular series. So they've worked out a lot of the kinks. That's also a very good pose. I wouldn't mind getting a picture of that either. There we go. Thumbnails everywhere, guys. Now, like I said, the cannon does articulate, so it has a nice couple hinges back here, so he can stand here just with the cannon on his back, like just being a good soldier, like so. Just stand at attention. He's almost like oh, what's his name from the Combaticons? I don't know. But you can take his gun, and if you really want to, you can just store it on the backpack so he doesn't have to hold it. So it does just insert onto other gun like so, and he can just stand here and chill like that. And now for comparison, we'll bring in Titans Return Hot Rod, who honestly in comparison is a floppy mess because, you know, he's just, the legs have gotten very loose. Probably just need to take some future polish to it and, you know, really thicken up those joints. But in reality, like, I really liked Hot Rod, but compared to this guy who's like big and beefy in the center, he's like super narrow and gappy and all kinds of weirdness. Now, that being said, I still want to get the Takara version of Hot Rod because it is a Target Master version, and I really dig the paint job that it's going to come with. But since that's the only Titan Return figure I have, I figured I'd, you know, see what was up there. Now, of course, Titans Return do have the ability to do something silly. You can, of course, swap heads. And that looks really, really dumb. And now, if he wasn't red, honestly, that head sculpt wouldn't look bad on this mold. This one doesn't fit at all. So he's just like, hey, this is not my body. And he's like, I could get with this. I like the big cannon deal. Yeah, actually, like I said, if this head was green, it might actually look good on this body. So let's go ahead and just rip those off. By the way, I had to turn his head around to get it to fit on Hardhead's body. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the headmaster while we're here. So, you got a little tiny green guy, and I don't know if he was always like this. I'll have to look at other people's reviews. He's actually got face paint. He's actually got little blue eyes and green paint on the face. I'm actually surprised, considering that Hot Rods is considerably not as good. And, like I said, probably not going to remember this guy's name. Furos. I don't know. Dang it. Drop that. Of course, he does suffer from face on his back syndrome. It happens. But it actually does have some nice molded detail down here in the legs and stuff. The hands are actually molded in very nice. This guy could use a little bit of paint, though. So, you never know. Might end up with some down the line. Actually, I'm going to leave it facing that way because I think that's the way it was facing. Does look like it's either got a nub mark right there or a stress mark. I'm not sure. But I'm going to leave him in his little tiny robot mode because we're going to go ahead and get to transformation on this. So I'm going to pull the gun off the back there. It's just not necessary. Now, if you've got the cannon already down like this, you're good. I mean, if you have it up, you can still do the transformation, but realistically, you need to have it down like so. I'm just going to go back here and just unpeg it from the back of the butt right there. Come down to the arms, or up to the arms, whatever. Fold away the hands. And then you want to collapse the elbows in like so. After that, you kind of want to just rotate them out of the way just a little bit. We can come up here, flatten everything out. Now the instructions will show you to go ahead and put these in proper placement now, but I'm going to wait until after I've got this. So you make the whole body, untab, so you got a big old tab right there, little slot right in there. Now we can come down to the legs and feet, fold away the toes as we saw earlier, pull the legs apart, got a nice double hinge right here, and you just want to bring this up, and you've got a tab here and a slot right there. So tab, slot. Just want to bring that up, fold the legs up like so. Nice and easy. No problem. So he's going to basically be squatting like so. I'm going to leave him open just a little bit. So you're going to come up here, and that'll tab right through there. And then you see you've got a couple tabs right there and a couple slots in the backs of the legs, or the inside of the legs, I should say. I'm going to just tab those in like that. Now we come down here to the center section. If you can get a thumb under it, just untab that and fold it flat like so. Now we'll come back up to the arms. On the little hinge and ball joint, you want to kind of rock it down and turn it back just a hair. And you've got big open spot right there and kind of a big circular tab. And you just sort of push it together like so. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And there we have Hardhead in his awesome little tank mode. Now in his tank mode, he does have some fun little details. You now really see the little orange canopy back here. This is funny because this is meant for Titan Masters, of course, but realistically this is like a forward gunning position, including little guns, as we sort of pointed out earlier. So, so I guess Titan Master and a human, because this is way too big for a Titan Master to fit in. Now, he does actually have wheels, so he can roll actually fairly nicely. Yay. Fun for tanks. Now, he does have just this weird big wheel assembly up here for the whole front, and of course the wheels that are just vaguely hidden on the the shins right there. It's actually pretty good. I mean, honestly, there's not a ton of robot cable under there. That's actually very good. Almost everything hides away very, very nicely on this guy. And you do get the nice molded detail, like I said before, of the tank treads. Got all this amazing armored plating just all over this guy. And you start seeing a little bit more of that like metallic flake. Is it a metallic flake or a very nasty mold? I can't tell. So nice little molded on parts there. Of course, you got the hatch in there. All these details now take on just a little bit different of a meaning when he's in tank mode. So it's pretty cool. Now, you can, of course, take your little Titan buddy. He could do one of two things. First, we'll stick him up here on his little pod section. I do believe you can just sit him in here. Come on. And he doesn't really peg in from what I can tell, but he will sit there fairly nicely. And you can't, like, close him in, so that's just an area for him to chill. Now that makes it a fun little turret, but of course you can add the other gun, just as we did before. So now he's operating a very large double turret like a crazy person would do. Well, maybe not a crazy person, but at least a Titan Master would do. Now you do actually have some more pegs back here. So you can, in fact, take another Titan Master buddy, for whatever reason, and stand him up right there, if the pegs actually want to work. That's what it's there for, but they don't want to go. There it goes. Just barely. Like, they're pegging in, but they're not staying, so that might just be how bad this guy's peg holes are. If I can get him to actually stay, it'd be great. Alright, don't touch it. But yeah, so you totally have Titan Master peg there for somebody to just kind of be ready to catapult, I guess. So you just, yeah. Extra playability, guys. You can also stand one right here, or right here, or right here, or right here. Do you get the point? There's little pegs everywhere for the little guys to stand on. Now, of course, you can just remove that, close that hatch, and you can come down here to the little orange cockpit. Not the easiest thing in the world to open if you don't have a good thumbnail. Now, like a lot of cockpits, he does actually have a slot right there so that that big tab can go in there. And he sits in there very nicely. And I guess these are technically supposed to be the controls, so that's kind of cool. And you just flip it shut. And now you've got little Furos piloting the tank. And you can raise the turret up and make some coolness. And of course, it can rotate. That's awesome. Now, H-tanks are really fun, you know, so you actually get the quad treads. I really do love that. In some ways, it reminds me a lot of the Scorpion tank from Halo. Of course, I loved Halo. Still sort of do, just don't play like I used to. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Now, let's try to get a quick comparison. We have little Hot Rod Buddy and his stupid guns. Seriously, these guns are one of the dumbest designs. No, Hasbro, no. So, and you can, there's not really a good spot to like plug this on or something like that, but I guess if you really want to get a little stupid, you can, yeah, stupid. Jeez, like, honestly, I really did like Hot Rod, but then, like, I get one of these, like Hardhead, and the details, even in vehicle mode, are just so much different. This thing truly does look like a McDonald's toy in comparison. This looks like a real toy. This looks like a McDonald's toy. All the way down to the not-so-great wheels. So, I mean, I was even looking at Chrome Dome, and that was the... Chrome Dome, I think, was second wave. This guy's fourth wave, or third wave, and yeah, just... I'm starting to think that, like, at some point Hasbro went, I think it could have been cool, and then changed their minds. Like, they had something good going, and then they went weird with it all of a sudden. So, like I said, I might get the generations, or the Takara generations, hot rod just for comparison, because I think he's going to look actually pretty good. If I could actually get this thing completely apart and do some paint work on it, that would actually be really, really awesome. Get rid of some of this just nasty looking plastic paint, maybe give some real silver like he does have down here on the thighs. Now, that is one thing I do really want to do to this guy. Not a full like paint job, but he really needs some weathering. He is a big old tank, and he needs some work. So I'm going to do that in a future video. I'm going to give him some nice panel wash, give him a nice dry brushing of some silver and maybe some mud, and see what happens. I think it'll look really, really good. But that's going to be it for this look at Titan's Return, Hardhead, and Furos. I picked them up at Target, which seems to be one of the cheapest places to buy Titan's Returns, for a little bit less than 16 bucks. But, you know, you can find it at Toys R Us, everywhere else. And if you really want to look it up, go ahead and go to Big Bad Toy Store. They have a ton on there. But check out my other Transformers playlist, even my third-party Transformers. Check out all the other Shoky Quickies. They're in a big, long playlist, and they need more love. There's more than Gunpla on this channel, guys. Yes, and we are literally on the doorstep of 700 subscribers. As of right now, there's only 698. Where are you other two? I want two. Come on. Bring it. Bring it. He says bring it. Yay. Well, that was anticlimactic. Yep. So, and if you're unfamiliar with my Patreon, it'll be right here on the screen. Yay for that. Go over there and help support the channel. Help put more stuff on the table for you guys to look at. You can even dictate some of the things that I go and buy if you really want to go there. So that's awesome. But that's it, guys. I will catch you on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on nerding.